Welcome to this week, January 19th, Regen Community Update Call. We've got an action-packed deck for you today because we wanted to also circle around and start getting, just getting news from all of the different things happening in the ecosystem integrated into this call in a deeper way. So we're going to have the science team, the open science team, give a little bit of an update. We also have the Commonwealth team here to talk about the forum upgrade and governance tools that we're going through here, and and then the general just updates. And we'll do our best to keep our sort of sharing to you, the community, to maybe 20 minutes this week, so we have a little bit of question and answer. So definitely we'll be flying through slides, hint, hint, to everybody who's presenting, so that we can make sure to have time. So with that all said, I will start the slideshow and we'll just get cranking. So again, welcome to the Regen Network Community Update from the 19th of January. Yeah, pretty excited. Lots of things happening this year. It's going to be fun to share. So I'm going to hand it over to Sam first thing and let you give us the update on Regen Registry. And I think you'll have the mic for a little bit here.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, it's super exciting to be here. I feel like maybe the registry and science parts of our organization have been probably the least represented. So I think that there's a lot to cover. We're working on quite a bit, but I think I just kind of generally talk about our strategy of, how we're approaching the Regen registry, decentralization of the registry, and what we have moving for us this month to kind of get these things off the ground. So the first thing I'd start with is, the credit class creator proposal. So I'm sure many of you saw our most recent governance proposal and probably voted on it, where we were voting for a parameter change to allow Regen registry to become the first credit class creator on Regen Ledger. And when designing this, we were thinking a lot about the decentralization of the registry and how what we're really trying to build here is, a registry that is governed and managed by the experts participating. So the scientists, the land stewards, the, like the validator community, the, carbon credit community, and kind of like bringing all of these people to create the processes by which people can write methodologies, engage in projects, create credits. And so when we created this credit class creator proposal, what we were proposing is that, Regen registry, we would be having this address that has the credit class creator be custodial and managed by the R&D staff on behalf of the community, and then working with the community to start to decentralize different pieces of our program. So, for some of the first credit classes we have our grasslands credits that we've already issued from our Microsoft purchase, and then we have quite a few Vera credits, and these are going to be our first two credit classes that we're creating, but thinking about allowing other people to participate and help manage this. We're also working with quite a few of our methodology designers who have different projects in helping them get credit classes on chain and delegating them as credit issuers for those credit classes. And so I think that that's like kind of the first main thing. And the second thing is, just this is our kind of first go at using the eco credit module and issuing some of these credits. So thinking about how the program is structured, we're really trying to make sure that the registry program allows people to participate where they're at. So understanding that people don't always have the same access to scientific resources, financial resources, but are still doing really good work. We want them to participate. And I wanted to share this slide of just thinking about different ways that we could use the eco credit module, and we plan to use it in the next few months. In here, you can see like two different types of credits. One where you have quote unquote an institutional credit that's very high rigor, where you're doing in-field measurements, you have a verifier, it's a peer-reviewed methodology. But then you also have this kind of flex credit where maybe people are just getting underway with their project. And kind of how we're architecting the registry program is using things like tagging to just like tag ecological claims. So you might have these two credit classes and one has like tags for, peer-reviewed methodology, it accounts for additionality and all these other things. And it's just like transparent in that way. But similarly, you could have someone else issuing credits that might not have gone through peer review or might not have in-field data, but they're still participating. We're just kind of tagging that credit as such. So I'm sure there will be plenty of questions, and maybe I'll just leave it there, and we can answer those later. Pass it off to Giselle to talk about some open science stuff.
Yeah, hello. So I'll be trying to outline, I think there's one slide missing first, before that.
Yep, exactly. There's one more slide. You skipped ahead just one
anyways,
slide. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
If you could go back, two slides, please, Gregory.
2 slides. Yeah. Oh.
Sorry, just a second. I'm having technical difficulties here. There we go. Yeah, there is only the science team update. Got it. Okay, here we go. Let me share. Apologies.
No worries. Yeah, so I'd like to talk about some updates from the last. It's been a long time since the last time I gave any update, so I would try to outline some things that we have been working on. Some of them are like super in-house development, and others are more collaborative efforts. The first one I want to talk to you about is we created our methodology for estimating the carbon from the soil organic carbon based on a coupling satellite imagery and small amount of samples. We tested it out in New South Wales, Australia. And one thing we needed in order to scale up and test it out in other places of the world was some estimation of the sample size. So those farms transitioning and starting to, for instance, do holistic management or AMP grazing that were interested into credits, they would need to go sample and state a baseline and then apply our method. And we didn't know exactly how was the amount of samples going to look like for all the different climates and ecoregions of the world. So next, we created kind of a sample. This is the first attempt to create a sample calculator, but it's based on all our expertise in the New South Wales examples, and also based on a huge literature review about interpolation methods or using satellites. And so now we have an estimation of the minimum amount of samples and the optimal, so that the uncertainty is reduced and there's a lower risk to have uncertainty discounts with these credits. And this is kind of split into low diversity properties, moderate diversity properties, and high diversity properties. And these three categories are linked to the some qualities of the properties in terms of the diversity that's potentially linked to the carbon, like all the drivers, like variables like topography and or slopes and soil types. How many soil types do you have? So we created a very simple set of questions, and with that we determine in advance if the property has a low diversity, moderate, or high, and then we give them according to the area of the project. We give them an estimation of the amount of samples that they need to collect in the first sampling round. And that's to be adjusted as they go. So we created our own sample size calculator, which is gaining attention, and we are also collaborating with other groups from the open team in order to help them create their own, which is awesome. We are defining the peer review of the method. We tried out the method in United States in one rangeland and also in 2 rangelands from Argentina, and it always seems to be working super well. Like we get super high correlations with the satellites and the ground truthing, which is amazing. So it seems that it's highly applicable in a wide spectrum of areas, which is good news. And this is just out of the oven because the last tests were done yesterday by Ned in our team in Argentina. We are also seeing an increasing interest from the credit buyers and early adopters to become monitors with our method, which is awesome. So we are encouraging those monitoring groups with GIS skills to ask about our method. If you want to know more about it, it's an open source method. Anyone can adopt it, and we can hold hand the early adoption of it. And well, some other updates. The science team is leading right now a virtual retreat focused on incentivizing the adoption of the regenerative practices. We will post news as we go, and Gregory has been posting some news in the Twitter as well. We are also working on increasing the predictability of the outcomes potential at the farm scale and also at the regional or a global scale. So next, yeah, I'm going to speak a little bit more about this. Do you have more minutes, or am I? No? We can leave it for the next time otherwise.
Well, yeah, that would be great. I mean, what would be fantastic, Giselle, is if you want to do this next bit in 2 weeks when you do the next community call, so that we can, because we've got the folks from Commonwealth here to talk about the forum migration. So it's a jam-packed call. Thank you so much for sharing.
Awesome.
Really excited. I mean, folks who are listening may not know that, like, this hot off the press news that Giselle is sharing, that there's been some continued confirmation that the Grasslands Carbon Plus methodology that was developed is working in other landscapes besides Australia is really a big deal, because we had never made any promises about that. And always, you always need to be conservative. You never know when a specific approach to monitoring and measuring is going to work. And of course, I think it's still a little premature, right, to know if the satellite-based monitoring is really going to prove out across different scales. But it's really exciting to know that, at least in the 3 recent cases, it is proving to work. So that's just congratulations. It's really exciting. Fantastic. Well, you're getting a sneak peek of what people will get to listen to more about what Giselle will be sharing in a couple of weeks. And now I'll shift it over to Dan to intro the Commonwealth folks, and we can dig into that part of the show.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Again, just to echo that, science stuff I love it. It's fantastic. Open source science for the win. Like, great job, science team. So, yeah. So here in a sec, I'm gonna bring on Reese from Commonwealth to give a few words about our migration that I've been promising for the last couple of months. So that's finally happening. I got to have a sneak peek at what it's going to look like. They were able to magically import our previous forum, which is still live currently, but will be going down once Commonwealth is up and running. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. It's been something that I've really been wanting to do, especially, as you guys know, I've talked about this a few times with Kepler integration and proposals and just kind of joining the larger gang. So there will be a Commonwealth Twitter Spaces coming up. That's actually tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Sorry, I didn't put the UTC there for you. And again, the discourse forum will shut down on Friday, or as soon as we can, pending the Commonwealth launch. So yeah, so once that happens, please start using the Commonwealth forum instead. And again, all the posts that you've previously written will be migrated over, so no information has been lost. But yeah, without further ado, I guess, Reese, you want to come on and kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Hello, everybody. Reese from Commonwealth. Very excited to get Regen using Commonwealth. We have quite a few fans, Regen fans, on the Commonwealth team. So yeah, very, very excited about this. If for those that don't know, Commonwealth is a crypto native governance platform. So we do support discourse like forum, but in a token forum way. So you're able to do token token thresholds and stuff like that. And then on top of that, for Cosmos projects, we do support on-chain governance within the same platform as the discussions are happening. And yeah, we have fully tested out and migrated all of the discourse content onto Regen's forum. So that's going to be great. I'll be here continuing to support Regen throughout the onboarding on Commonwealth and then using it. Yeah, lots of stuff to do. And if you allow me to share my screen here, I could show you the staging forum that we have as an example, and then example of what a fully built out Cosmos forum looks like.
I think you should have permissions. Go ahead and
Cool.
give it a shot.
Yes, I think I got it. All right, sharing my screen. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is the staging forum for Regen. I think this is a couple weeks old, this discourse backup file. But yeah, all of the topics here, upvotes, users, comments, everything has been uploaded to the forum. Yeah, this is the Reddit-like view, able to get the discourse view here, which I assume Regen will be using. It's more scalable with the size of the community that Regen is at. And then we also have connected the on-chain governance piece as well. So all past proposals are here, able to create proposals on Commonwealth, vote on them, etc. Yeah, so that all of that, and then linking the discussion posts to the proposals themselves, which is pretty big. And yeah, this is, we do also support osmosis. And this is what a fully built out forum will look like. This is like always a continued thing to building out Commonwealth forums. But yeah, see the pinning topics to the sidebar here, able to sort here by different types of topics. Yeah, and then everything sorted by most active. And I guess this isn't used by osmosis, but also able to sort by what stage the discussion or idea is in the governance process. So I think that's the overview. Also, we support Kepler login as well, obviously with the token forum. But yeah, I think that's the quickest overview I could give. I don't know if there's any questions or anything else people would like me to talk about.
Super exciting. It's going to be fun to dig in and play around. And I have some ideas that probably are worth exploring and experimenting with as Regen Network upgrades to have the groups module. We'll be one of the first Cosmos chains running the groups module. And so we can chat a little bit more about that. But essentially the groups module allows for non-token but weighted voting in a DAO. And so I kind of have a vision that, Regen is going to basically start to have groups that are managing registry functions and curating methodologies, for instance. It's going to have groups that are curating particular tags that can be applied to eco credits. It's going to have groups that are managing community spins on specific pieces. And I think it would be quite fun to play around with integrating Commonwealth so that those forums, can sort of be transparently discussing things and then voting right from within Commonwealth. And I imagine that there'd be huge adoption to roll out into the rest of the ecosystem. So yeah, super exciting about where this can go. So thank you.
Yeah, that does sound exciting. Also, we do play around with a lot of non-token voting and off-chain voting. So like polling here is good. And yeah, I guess a little bit about, to end off, a little bit about the Twitter space happening tomorrow at 2 p.m. EST. We'll be having Eric, the CEO of Injective, on as well, and Sunny, one of the co-founders of Cosmos and founders of Osmosis. So that'll be really exciting, as well as the CEO of Stargaze. So yeah, it'll be great chat. Yeah, and I think that's everything I had to say. I'll share my screen, and I guess we can continue on.
Cool, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Reese.
So we got about 7 minutes, so I'll try to make these last couple of slides really quick. Just a couple of small updates.
Just do quick visual unless there's anything big. Let me go back and share. Sorry, unless you have it up.
No, if you could do that, please. But yeah, I mean, it's just a couple of updates. Really, I can just talk about it right now. The Redwood testnet was updated to 2.1 to coincide and match the mainnet. So other than that, just one last piece of news that's really exciting. Regen is now live on Big Dipper, so we've added another explorer to our repertoire there. So we've got Annika, Minscan, and now we've got Big Dipper too. And hopefully soon the 4-Bull wallet will be coming.
Cool. There's the market liquidity report. I'll just sort of blow through that. And yeah, as Dan was mentioning, 4-Bull Big Dipper support is there, and 4-Bull X will be supporting Regen soon. And I know that there's some upgrades happening. Like I think Humbach is not quite up and running yet, but we're doing some troubleshooting there, Dan.
No, everything is up and running. Yep.
Humbach is up now.
Humbach, Redwood, everything is running. So
awesome. Yep. So Humbach is up, and that means that those of you who might be doing data module integration, there's the alpha is running on Humbach. The alpha of the groups module is running on Humbach for people who want to be playing around with groups module stuff. Our interfaces team is going to be using Humbach DevNet to do integrations soon with marketplace functionality and some of the Regen Ledger 3.0 pieces that are coming out, baskets and other things. So lots of that stuff's not quite up, but lots of opportunities for developers who want to be building against what is coming down the pipe for future upgrades of Regen Ledger. And I think this is old news, but you know, we endowed the Osmosis community with a nice chunk of Regen, and I think stay tuned for exciting things to happen. I know, you know, I've been working hard as soon as we have the basket module and we can have IBC compatible eco credits around getting some carbon credits over on Osmosis, and so maybe we'll be able to you know, the Osmosis community itself will be able to do some liquidity provision on that front potentially. So anyway, exciting opportunities. None of that is set in stone yet, but I think this is setting us up for some really fun things to come within the Cosmos DeFi community. So as always, these calls are every 2 weeks. And is that right? That the next call is on the 26th of February? That seems a little far out, but
I think my math might have been a little bit off there. Sorry, guys.
Maybe a little, maybe a week earlier than that.
Yes.
And you can snag the Google link. As always, we record these, put them up as YouTube, so you can share them around with colleagues or friends if anything that was shared here is important to sort of feedback. So with all of that said, I'm going to stop sharing, and we don't have a lot of time left. We're closing in the top of the hour, and we like to respect everybody's time. But if anybody has questions or comments, feel free to hop in. You're also feel free to chat anything that you might want to, you know, hear about more or discuss. And as always, we're do our best to be available over on Discord. So if people want to carry forward conversations or questions, want to dig into the registry work or understand more about the science work or understand more about Regen Ledger 3.0 or how to develop against it, or, you know, yeah, anything and everything, head over to Discord and chat with us. Dan's there always, and friendly face to connect with. All right. Well, if there isn't any pending matters arising from you all here, I'll go ahead and end a minute early.
Yeah, I'd say the last thing that I would just advertise is the science team is doing a practice-based methodology retreat, is what it was originally called, but the general idea is like mobilizing or kind of convening a bunch of different stakeholders in developing a methodology that incentivizes people to make the shift to regenerative practices and fund those projects and do data collection and storage. And the first 2 days we talked about community and funding and rewards, and tomorrow we're going to be talking about data collection and storage and methodology development. So if anyone's interested in participating, check out the Open Science channel and we can get you in.
Fantastic. And do you have any engineer team members chatting about the data storage architecture of the data module? If not, hint, hint, Will and Paul, who are on the call, you guys might want to show up and share about what you guys are thinking around data collection and storage. The data module, RSci, PharmOS would be really probably pretty productive opportunity. I know there's many community members, both from the engineering and science perspectives that'll be there. So yeah,
what time
you
was
guys,
this tomorrow?
if you have time, it might be worthwhile.
Sorry, what time is that tomorrow?
It starts at
9
12
a.m.
p.m.
Oh yeah, 12
Eastern.
p.m.
So 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. You're on Central Time, I think, Will, right? So 11 a.m.
I'm on Eastern. Yeah, I'll shoot Sam a message about it. It sounds great.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's 2 hours. Starts at 12 p.m. Eastern.
Great. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Really great to see folks, and yeah, see you all on the interwebs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
So,
Ciao,
bye.
everybody.